Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm back from my 3 year trip to the backrooms. You know, and I have a computer now. Um, it's actually the best computer known to man. Psych, I freaking lied. This computer is absolute dog poo poo. Uh, and it's so garbage that I hope the person who made this computer has an epileptic seizure. I don't hope that. I don't hope that. I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm sorry. Move this over. And I'm gonna check this out. Nine. Alright. Child celebrities who have terrible lives now. Uh this is what we're watching. It's by Sunny V2.
With this kind of harassment even continuing into
I would bully him too, little chunkster. Fat.
Jake's high school and college experience.
You know how they can be in high school. They're so charming and intelligent. College has been similar. They wouldn't let it go.
In other interviews, Jake had been warned about the common path taken by child celebrities.
Child stars have had a bit of a reputation. They turn to, life of drugs, so may the force be with you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yet this advice seemed to have no impact, as his life began to go downhill beginning in 2015. Jake Lloyd has schizophrenia, stopped taking his medication, and attacked his mother. Indianapolis police.
Damn. Damn. Okay, so they jumped from I was bullied heavily. They used to stuff me inside of my locker and peel off my toenails and shit like that. To this nigga has schizophrenia and attacked his mom by a woman named Mother. Oh shit.
Police were called to the home of Lloyd's mother, Lisa. She said the 26-year-old showed up and yelled at her, saying she ruined his life. Lloyd allegedly knocked her down when she wouldn't let him in the house and stomped her 3 or 4 times, causing bruises and abrasion.
Damn! This nigga, he was coming for blood. Okay, wait. That's not funny. That's not funny. Are you laughing? Are you serious? That's not funny. Hold up. I could like kind of imagine just, oh, you did this to me, and just ah ah ah, there's something seriously wrong with me.
He was gone by the time the police showed up and she didn't press charges. Only 3 months later, Jake Lloyd found himself in a high-speed police chase, after which he'd be arrested for reckless driving, driving without a license, and
Reckless driving without a license,
arrest, resulting in 10 months jail time in a psychiatric facility. 2 years after this, Jake's 26-year-old sister Madison died unexpectedly in her sleep, prompting the mother to release a statement regarding Jake's well-being. Jake has been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, but unfortunately he also has a symptom called anosognosia, which causes a lack of insight into his illness. This only adds to the struggle he faces, which has been very difficult after the tragic loss of his younger sister Madison. He has moved closer to his family, and we are all working hard to help him with this. He is still a kind and caring person, and we hope to have him back to his fun and entertaining.
This is the mom saying this, alright. Oh, my son stomped me out, and he left. He stomped me out. He accused me of ruining his life, but he's still a kind and caring person. He's just going through shit.
Maintaining self as soon as possible. Jake will continue to make progress with the love and support you continue to show, which is promising when compared to the life of Edward Furlong. After playing John Connor in The Terminator 2, Furlong began to mess with drugs, stating, "Hollywood effed me up, man. Lots of money and lots of free coke will turn anybody into a cokehead," with this addiction resulting in his first arrest for driving under the influence without a license. Furlong attended rehab as a result of the incident and was able to stay sober for a number of years. However, by 2009, at the age of 32, he was back in the news for punching his girlfriend whilst on drugs.
Nobody get into the industry, alright? Because, apparently, let's go back here.
as a result.
Lots of money and lots of free coke. All right. I was a heroin and cocaine addict. It was really scary. Apparently, it wasn't that scary, cause this nigga, he got off the cocaine and got inside of his car and just vroom vroom vroom. My bad.
Lots of free coke will turn anybody into a cokehead, with this addiction resulting in his first arrest for driving under the influence without a license. Furlong attended rehab as a result of the incident and was able to stay sober for a number of years. However, by 2009, at the age of 32, he was back in the news for punching his girlfriend whilst on drugs. 3 years later, Furlong was arrested again, this time for domestic abuse against his new girlfriend, resulting in a further 6 months in prison.
He looks creepy. He's definitely like...
For domestic abuse against his new girlfriend, resulting in a further...
That's definitely the face of a child predator. Okay? And, I know that sometimes when people think of the face of a child predator, they go straight to... But, hey... What can you do about it?
6 months in prison, where he'd pick up a meth addiction, although this story actually has somewhat of a happy ending. In July 2022, Furlong announced that he had gotten his teeth fixed, was taking better care of himself, and had been sober for over 4 years.
I'm much happier now, man. I mean, it feels so good to at least be doing the best you can.
Although this kind of happy ending has been unavailable to Drake Bell, whose life has only gotten worse every single year since he starred in Drake and Josh. In 2014, approximately 7 years after the show came to an end, Drake Bell announced that he was filing for bankruptcy, causing a foreclosure on his $2 million mansion. 1 year later, in 2015, he'd be jailed for 4 days as a result of driving under the influence. However, the real drama didn't begin until mid-2020. Upload a video on TikTok, making some pretty severe accusations.
Imagine the worst type of verbal abuse you could ever imagine, and that was what I got. It then turned into physical, hitting, throwing, everything. At the pinnacle of it, he dragged me down the stairs of our house in Los Feliz. My face hit every step on the way down.
Drake Bell would defend himself by stating, I never abused my ex-girlfriend or did so many of the other things Melissa falsely claimed on her TikTok video. Unfortunately, we both called each other terrible names, as often happens when couples are breaking up, but that is it. Although this response most certainly didn't put an end to the drama, as there was
Drake Bell does look like a creep, so I'm going to
this response most certainly didn't put an end to the drama, as there was even bigger trouble just around the corner. An article titled "Drake Bell's Alleged Victim Accuses Him of Grooming" explained that he was embroiled in a legal battle for engaging in a relationship with a 15-year-old girl back in 2017. Became even worse when footage of the trial was uploaded to YouTube.
How do you plead to count 2, disseminating matter harmful to juveniles, first-degree misdemeanor.
Guilty.
Let the record reflect defendant has pled guilty. The court accepts that plea.
And while he would plead guilty to child endangerment, Drake Bell would then take to his Instagram to insinuate that he hadn't done anything wrong.
Don't believe the media. If these claims were remotely true, my situation would be very different. I would not be here at home with my wife and my son.
Despite finishing by stating that he was at home with his wife, this relationship would last only 1 more year, as in January 2023, on top of everything that had already happened, Drake Bell announced that he was also getting a divorce. Considering he's acted in only 2 productions since 2020, it's safe to say that Drake Bell's reputation is pretty much finished, although he's not the only Nickelodeon actor with a spot in this video, as the life of Amanda Bynes has descended into an even worse version of hell. Despite having one of the most famous faces throughout...
I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry. I should
Being one of the most famous faces throughout the 2000s, Amanda Bynes would announce her retirement from acting in 2010, stating that being an actress isn't as fun as it may seem. If I don't love something anymore, I stop doing it. I don't love acting anymore, so I've stopped doing it. I know 24 is a young age to retire, but you heard it here first. She'd go on to state that the retirement was because I literally couldn't stand my appearance in Easy A and I didn't like my performance. I was absolutely convinced that I needed to stop acting after seeing it. However, this is where things began to go downhill rapidly. In 2012, 2 years after retiring, she was charged with driving under the influence and hit and run on 2 separate
For actors, you know, people like
occasions.
this.
2 years after this,
hideous.
she'd be charged with driving under the influence again, with her court appearance displaying a significant physical decline from just 2 years prior. In the process, Amanda would take to Twitter to call Michelle and Barack Obama ugly, before stating that she and her parents were no longer speaking.
Yeah, Michelle and Barack Obama are ugly, but you are
Which accompanied some absolutely wild accusations about her father, including the statement that he had put a microchip in her brain. After she'd also set fire to a driveway, Amanda was put in a mental hospital, after which her parents were given legal ownership over her $5 million estate, as Amanda has been spending large amounts of her savings. It has been reported that she's recently made extensive purchases as gifts from jewelry stores such as Cartier for strangers. Amanda Bynes was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and would attempt to get her life back on track by enrolling in fashion school. However, she was kicked out only 10 months later for showing up high and arguing with her classmates. In 2018, people assumed that she was back to her normal self, as Amanda showed up in magazines looking like this. However, within a year, she'd gotten face tattoos and checked into Alcoholics Anonymous, where she'd meet her new boyfriend who, according to Amanda, had just as many problems as her. In October 2022, she'd make another attempt at fixing her life by enrolling in cosmetic school. Yet only 5 months later, in March 2023, she was sent to a mental hospital once again, as she was found roaming
and Los Angeles alone and naked. Bro, people are crazy. So she took Naked and Afraid to a whole new extreme.
the streets of Los Angeles without any clothes on. Then there was Orlando Brown, whose role as Eddie Thomas on That's So Raven ended with an equally terrible life. After the show came to an end in 2000.
I believe his life was like tragic. Cause look at him. Look at him. You know what I'm talking about, bro.